Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for being here for this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. Before we get started, would everybody please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag? And Councilman Borelli, could you lead us this evening? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get a moment of silence to continue our prayers for the return of the Ferrari boys. Thank you.
Thanks, Mike. Okay, once again, welcome everyone. The members of the ladies from the Lake Mahopac Garden Club, thank you for being here as well. Appreciate everything that you do for our great community with respect to beautification, planting, landscaping, and things like that. But I'll get to you in a couple of minutes. I'll continue that. So, and thank you all at home for watching this meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Carmel. The date is Wednesday, June 6th, 2018, and tonight's Town Board meeting is a voting meeting. And for the record, Councilman Lupinacci is on vacation. Well-deserved, and he wasn't able to be with us tonight. And Jonathan Schneider has a business event that he's at. He's going to try to join us later on during the meeting, and if he doesn't make it, there's one item on here on the agenda, number 11, that we're probably going to we'll have to table until we have another board member here, because it requires 2/3 the majority of the board to be here, so that would be 4 board members. So hopefully he'll be here by the time we get to that agenda item. Okay, so on the first item on the, we have our town clerk, Ann Spofford. Sorry, Ann. All the way down to my right and all the way down to my left is Greg Fulchetti. He's the Carmel Town Attorney. So the first item on the agenda is a resolution recognizing the week of June 3rd through June 9th, 2018 as National Garden Week and declaring Garden Week in the town of Carmel. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read resolution number 1, please?
Sure. Whereas gardeners have a passion for nurturing the beauty of resources of earth through the care of all plants and riches of their efforts. And whereas gardeners seek to add beauty, splendor, and nutrition to our lives through the growing of herbs, foliage, vegetables, and flowers. And whereas gardening furnishes a challenging and productive activity for many citizens, from those just learning to having years of experience. And whereas gardening promotes a healthy lifestyle that lasts a lifetime, helps reduce stress, and teaches that diligent effort can be rewarded. And whereas gardening enables members of garden clubs across the nation and world to serve others in the communities where they reside and work. Now therefore be it resolved that in an effort to acknowledge the importance of gardening and the numerous contributions of gardeners, the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby recognizes the week of June 3, 2018 through June 9th, 2018 as National Garden Week, and hereby declare same to also be Garden Week within the town of Carmel. I offer this resolution as read proudly.
Yes, seconded also, very proudly. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. With honor, motion carried. Joanne Carpenzano, where's Joanne? Joanne, you're the president of the Lake Mahopac Garden Club, and you have your team with you here tonight. Do you have all the members, or are we missing any? No, we're missing a few? All right. Well, and you have Ann Spofford here too, right? She's a member of the Garden Club. So on behalf of the entire town of Carmel community, the Hamlet of Carmel, Mahopac, and Mahopac Falls, we'd like to thank you for everything that you do to keep this town as beautiful as it is. Yeah, you can come right up here, right to the podium. Your beautification efforts are amazing. You guys do a wonderful job. If it wasn't for you, ladies, I don't know what our landscaped areas, the public landscaped areas, wouldn't look the way they do.
Thank you.
And as everyone can see, the Garden Club brought some beautiful flowers with them here this evening and really decorated our dais. Fantastic. It really looks beautiful. It never looks this nice. So we appreciate that as well, and look forward to your continued volunteerism and support in the community for gardens and landscaped areas and beautification efforts.
On
So
behalf of the Garden Club, we thank you for the compliments that you've given us. and we appreciate the help that you've given us in return, because, you know, we need help from both you and we work as a team also. So the garden club started here at the Lake Mahopac Garden Club 33 years ago. So, I mean, I'm sorry, 1933. And it started probably, there were many more members at that time because women were home more and they weren't working. So we're always constantly looking for new members. So if anybody hears of the possibility of somebody wanting to join, we'd be happy to have them. And part of what we do is educate the public about plants, and we have meetings and speakers concerning the various topics related to gardening, pruning, all sorts of things that can arise when somebody tries to plant. We maintain numerous gardens, as you were showing, throughout the town, and some of them are more of a challenge than others, and right now we're working on the library and the children's library garden. We're having some issues with that, but they'll be corrected. They were water issues. So anyway, they'll be corrected. And we have a flower show once a year or so, every 12 to 18 months. And the flower show is, one of its purposes is to present some educational material to the public, and then to show the public what they can do by planting flowers and plants and learning more about them and learning how to care for them. And in return, they get a reward because being around plants is a very enriching experience. So we would like to share our beauty with the town. We would like to thank the town for helping us, especially you and you at the board. And anyway, I didn't make a prepared speech, I'll be honest with you.
No, you did great.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
So, we are, our purpose is just to make life more beautiful for the town. And we work very hard. Sometimes it's just cleaning up, after people, throw litter and stuff like that. Sometimes there's weeding to do. So, and many times what we usually do is we have to water, and when we have to prune the plants or, make sure that everything's growing properly, fertilize the plants, because they all need love. And part of gardening, I think, is giving love. So in return, if people learn to appreciate nature and the plants, they in turn will maybe be feeling more loved. And I think, that's what our purpose is. So I thank you for all your help.
You're welcome.
Yes, all the workers that come and help us at times when we need them, and we appreciate it. And in return, we'll keep giving you new flowers and new plants.
No, that's wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, your contributions are amazing. They really are. You
Thank
guys do
you.
a wonderful job, and it's showing around the community. A lot of people have commented about that.
Yes,
How nice the areas look. So
We do have people that will stop sometimes, especially by Mount Hope, and they'll say, "You're doing a good job." So
That's
we
nice.
appreciate that.
yeah, well, the town does provide some funding for you in our budget.
Yes.
It's probably not enough. I'm sure it's not. So don't be afraid to ask for more.
Oh, really?
Well, to within limits.
And it's
All
on
right, need to
tape,
hear
so you
that.
have it.
Any homeowners in town, anybody, anywhere, and any business owners, pay attention to the job you ladies do. And I'm quite sure you would accept donations.
Okay. Always would.
If somebody wants to contribute to your organization, to the Garden Club, how would they go about doing that?
They can go on our website and contact us that way, or they can call one of the executive members that they'll see on the website.
Oh,
So,
there's another one.
and
Or they could find Andy.
did we get another
Or
one?
Ann, right.
So yes, we always would appreciate help, and in return, we'll help you. So, in
Beautiful,
whatever way
thank
we
you.
I
can.
think another member, she just walked.
Up
Is
it-
that
Oh, Mary.
Mary?
You know her.
Mary, you can
Hey,
bring
Mary.
the flowers right up. Mary, these are from your garden? Oh, my God, they're
Oh,
so pretty.
beautiful, yeah.
I vote that we
Thanks,
do this
Mary.
once a month. Absolutely
Those are beautiful, Mary.
gorgeous.
And
Wow.
take the time to smell them also.
Yeah.
Because some of
that.
them are
Like
going to
that
be
big
really, really smelling real nice.
What's that big one?
So-
White one?
I hope that our
The big white one,
Is that a peonies? The big white
the
one?
big white one, the larger white one.
peony, yeah.
Peonies?
Yeah.
Oh, you knew
Peonies,
that.
yeah.
The hydrangeas aren't out yet, are they?
No,
When typically do the hydrangeas bloom?
another month,
Another month?
3 weeks. Mine are getting leaves on them.
Oh,
The
okay.
deer eat mine
Mm.
Mine's
They
not
do?
dead yet.
sometimes,
Oh,
yeah.
all right.
So,
Well, I'm going to
Absolutely beautiful.
show the photographs again. All
okay.
right, so could you ask the cameraman Susie,
Yes.
to move,
turn-
to turn that camera over to the TV?
I think he's doing it right
Yep,
now.
okay. All right, I took some photographs today of different areas around town.
Oh, Kenny, one thing they were explaining to you is when you're over there, they can't hear you. So Supervisor Schmidt just said that he took pictures of what the garden club does around town, and that's what he's showing now on the TV.
All right, Susie, you want to
Yes.
just tell them where they are? This is at Route 6 in Crane Road.
That's at Route 6 in Crane Road.
Welcome to Mahopac sign. Well, the trailers usually aren't there.
I was going to say that, yeah.
And the variable message board is not there either, so it looks a lot nicer without that equipment
The
there.
only one that's messed up is the Revolutionary War one.
That is the Blue Star,
The Blue Star
Memorial
Memorial
Highway.
right there by Mount Hope.
Route 6 in Mount Hope.
Yep,
Hold
across
on,
from
hold on with
CVS.
that one second here, Kenny.
Oh,
And,
see,
and the opposite corner, on the other side of Mount Hope, is the project this board's gonna be working on next, where we're gonna reach out to you, and we're gonna get rid of that MSA 1950 style message board and put a state-of-the-art board there and clean that property area up,
that one there.
and remove that broken telephone pole.
So I'm requesting some peonies over there.
That's just another shot of the Blue Star Memorial. That's where the plaque is there.
And Kenny, that was just redone, what, 2 years ago?
Yes.
Was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago, I believe it was redone.
It was
Yeah.
redone over?
Yep,
Yeah.
it came out beautiful.
Funding from the town.
Yep.
So these benches were added? Were these benches added or were they there?
The benches
They're
were
added.
added.
Were added?
Yes,
All right. So, and then we have 6 and 6N.
yep, 6 and 6N right in front of, I was gonna say the old road axe. Crossroads.
Mike, you know, I'm just seeing what we have to take care of. You see the rust? You see the rust on the brackets holding that sign up? Mike, can you take care of that too?
Yes, boss.
Have somebody clean them up and paint them?
Yes, boss.
Okay. That's just another shot from the front view of it. That's at.
And that's down by Baldwin Place, entering from Baldwin Place, coming up into Mahopac.
But it would look really nice if the AutoZone wasn't there, but it's there.
Order 4 sign.
Not much we can do about it. And that's it, at 6N and Potter Road. Oh,
Are you
are?
gonna put annuals in there? Is that tall grass? Is that the oriental grass there now, or no? All right. Buttercups, oh, nice, so that's Potter Road
You have-
and
you have a
6N.
You have a little bit more mulch here. Than you do. All right. That came out really,
By the way, we really, the recreation department responds to us quickly. We ask them to put that mulch on and they spread it themselves. We really appreciate that.
And Phyllis was just saying that the recreation department helped spread the mulch and that they really appreciate it. I'm just repeating because the people at home can't hear. Yeah, you guys are, you gals and Kenny.
and as you can see, we proudly display that we're a town of Carmel's a Purple Heart community.
Purple Heart Community
Like
sign
that
is
one
there
over
also.
These are around town also. So that's it. That's all I have.
Beautiful, yeah. Beautiful work.
Oh, what is that?
That is not the garden club.
Oh, that's not the garden club. Okay, once again, ladies, thank you so much for all you do. We really appreciate it. Thanks for being here also.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, so that was resolution number 1. I'm going to read resolutions tonight also, since there's only 3 of us. So I have resolution number 2. It's a resolution adopting an application for Town Code 156-39.5. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby adopts the application form pursuant to Town of Carmel Town Code 156-39.5 relating to the housing of chickens within the Town of Carmel. We went from flowers to chickens. Such application
Progress.
to be, such application to be in form as attached hereto, and be it further resolved that the town clerk, Ann Spofford, is hereby authorized to utilize said form for all applications submitted pursuant to Town Code 156-39.5. I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Second by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Ladies, are you going to stay for the whole meeting? If you choose, if you'd rather not, feel free to, you can leave. But if you want to stay, you're welcome to stay. Okay, next resolution, number 3, is a resolution authorizing budget modifications. Councilman Borelli, would you read number 3, please?
Whereas the Town Controller, Mary Ann Maxwell, has reviewed the proposed final budget modifications for the period ending April 30th, 2018, with the Town Board, which are detailed and explained on the attached budget revision schedule 2018/02 and 2A. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes and ratifies the final budget modifications/revisions for the period ending April 30th, 2018, as shown itemized on Schedule 2018/02 and 2A, which is attached hereto, incorporated herein, and made a part hereof. I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 4, is a resolution authorizing the extension of a contract for supply of chemicals for wastewater and water treatment plants at Carmel Sewer Districts number 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and Carmel Water Districts 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 12. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read that, please?
Sure. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of the various water districts and sewer districts of the Town of Carmel, has previously awarded the contract for bids for purchase and supply of chemicals for the wastewater treatment plants servicing Carmel Sewer Districts number 2, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and the water treatment facilities servicing Carmel Water Districts number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 12, to Slack Chemical Supply, Patterson, New York. And whereas Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, P.E., has recommended the extension of said contract for a period of 1 year with Slack Chemical Supply. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, acting as commissioners of Carmel Sewer Districts number 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and Carmel Water Districts number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 12, hereby authorizes the extension of the existing contract with Slack Chemical Supply for a period of 1 year commencing July 7th, 2018. And be further resolved, the Town Supervisor, Kenneth Schmidt, is hereby authorized to execute any and all documentation necessary to effectuate the authorization granted herein. And be further resolved, the Town Comptroller, Mary Ann Maxwell, is hereby authorized to make any and all necessary budget modifications required in connection with this authorization. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Yeah, we could say it. Yeah. Okay, resolution number 5 is a resolution authorizing accepting a proposal and authorizing entry into a contract for information technology services for Sullivan Data. Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby authorizes extension and/or renewal of its existing agreement for information technology services with Sullivan Data Management Incorporated of Yorktown, New York, for a period of 3 years commencing July 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2021, for an aggregate annual sum not to exceed $53,602.50. In accordance with proposal number 11637-R1 dated May 30th, 2018. And be it further resolved that upon review of insurance certificates in form acceptable to Town Council, Kenneth Schmidt, Town Supervisor, is hereby authorized to execute any and all further documentation necessary to effect such contract extension. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote.
Councilman Borelli?
Yes, with
You
the
wanna
public's, with the public's knowledge that they asked for a raise on this, and it was denied. And so it's the same numbers that we've been paying previously, we're paying in the future.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Thanks for explaining that, Mike. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 6, is a resolution authorizing the awarding of a bid for Sycamore Park Court rehabilitation. Councilman Borelli, would you read 6?
Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel has previously authorized advertisement for the solicitation of bids for rehabilitation of certain courts and facilities at Sycamore Park in the Town of Carmel. And whereas such bids were received and opened and by Town Clerk Ann Spofford on May 11, 2018, and now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon the recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, hereby awards the bids for contract C-230 Sycamore Park Court Rehabilitation to Sport Tech Construction, Brewster, New York. The lowest responsible bidder who met the specifications at a cost not to exceed $147,493.40. And be it further resolved that upon presentation of performance bond, labor and materials bond, and insurance certificates in form acceptable to the Town Council, Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to execute any and all documentation reasonably necessary to effectuate the contract for the work authorized hereunder. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
All right, it's also, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough, I just want to make one comment on this. The $147,493.40, most of that, Greg, what's the number that's coming from a grant? No?
129, 129.1. I think 129,100.
Yeah, $129,100 is in the form of a grant from the Dormitory Authority of the State of New York, so it's a New York State grant for $130,000. The remainder of that is going to be taken out of the Parkland Trust Fund account that we have
You
here.
encumbered that before signing the grant disbursement application, so it'll come out of Parkland Trust.
Parkland Trust, all right, so most of it's paid for through a grant. Very small, $20,000 of it, $18,000 is being paid from the Parkland Trust Fund. Okay? Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 7, is a resolution authorizing payment for repair, the Town of Carmel Highway Department. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 7, please?
Sure, resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, and upon the recommendation of Town of Carmel Highway Superintendent Michael Simone, hereby authorizes payment to Q's Repair, North Franklin, Connecticut, for services rendered in connection with Town of Carmel Highway Department bucket truck repairs in the amount of $9,760.21, and in accordance with the invoice number 37632 dated May 14th, 2018. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 8, is a resolution authorizing the awarding of bids for waste wood processing, the Town of Carmel Highway Department. Whereas the Town Board of the Town of Carmel has previously authorized advertisement for the solicitation of bids for various highway materials and services for the Town of Carmel Highway Department. And whereas such bids were received and opened, and Highway Superintendent Michael Simone has recommended the awarding of the bids as set forth hereafter. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby awards bids for waste wood processing for calendar year 2018 to Tri-State Forestry Incorporated, the lowest responsible bidder, who met specifications at unit prices of $250 per hour and $2,000 per day. I offer the resolution as read.
Second.
Seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes, motion carried. Thank you. And as all of you can imagine, with the March nor'easters, with all the trees that came down, and the recent storms that we had in the area, there is a lot of trees that had to be cut up and removed, and the highway department has them stockpiled, but they have to be removed. It's a large pile from all the wood, all the trees, the branches, et cetera, so this has to be done. This funding has to be expended for this. We do it every year, but I think we're gonna have to do it twice this year, so we'll see how it goes to see if there's enough to get it all done, but it's a large pile, and the highway department is taking care of that, and this company is going to be assisting with that. So, you did a roll call, right, Ann?
I did.
Okay, so, next resolution, Councilman Borelli, would you read it? It's number 9. It's a resolution authorizing acceptance of a proposal for professional services.
Resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel, upon recommendation of Town Engineer Richard J. Franzetti, hereby accepts the proposal of Gotham Contracting Corp., Middle Village, New York, to perform asbestos abatement services at property owned by the Town of Carmel at a cost not to exceed $11,840. Be it further resolved that the sum of $1,000 is hereby authorized to be paid to Applied Technical Services, Inc., New Rochelle, to provide a closure report in connection with such services. And be it further resolved that Town Supervisor Kenneth Schmidt is hereby authorized to sign any and all documentation necessary to accept the proposal and authorize the actions contained herein. And be it further resolved that Town Controller Mary Ann Maxwell is hereby authorized to make any and all necessary budget transfers or modifications required to fund the cost of this authorization. I offer the resolution as read.
Second?
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman McDonough. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, next resolution, number 10, is a resolution appointing special counsel. Councilwoman McDonough, would you read 10, please?
So resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Carmel hereby appoints Daniel Miller, Esquire, 704 Route 6, Mahopac, New York, as special counsel for various town matters on as-needed basis. And be it further resolved that said services are hereby authorized at a rate of $250 for attorney Daniel Miller and an hourly rate of $125 for paralegal services. I offer this resolution as read.
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Borelli. Roll call vote?
Councilman Borelli?
Yes.
Councilwoman McDonough?
Yes.
Supervisor Schmidt?
Yes. Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, so we've gotten to resolution number 11, and Councilman Schneider is not here yet, so I need a motion to table this. We'll act on it, and
I make a motion to table
I-
resolution 11.
yeah, we can't, as I said earlier, we can't act on this. 3 of us can't vote to approve this. We need 4 because it's regarding borrowing, bonding for capital projects. So you need a supermajority, which is 4.
3 to,
Yeah.
3 to 3rd.
So,
Make a motion to table it
Two-thirds, right.
till next week.
okay, so Councilwoman McDonough made a motion to table,
Second.
seconded by Councilman Borelli, and I'll second that also. All those in favor of the table?
Aye.
Aye. So this will be brought up probably at a special voting meeting next week. It's a work session, but we'll probably do a sunshine law notice, and for a special voting meeting, and we'll act on this next week, right? Good, Mike, to do that next week?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right, great. All right, that concludes the agenda items for this evening's Town Board voting meeting. At this time, I'm going to ask if there's any members of the public that would like to come up and comment on the agenda items that we covered this evening. So this is agenda items only. If you'd like to come up, come on up. Phyllis?
Phyllis Honig from Mahopac. I just want to ask you about 10. Why do you need when would you use a special counsel?
Well,
For what purpose?
Well, I'll explain to you in this particular case. There was a FOIL request that was submitted to the town clerk's office, and both the counsels that we have, both of our attorneys that do counsel legal work for the town of Carmel. One is Counsel Fulchetti, and the other one is Joe Charbonneau, special legal counsel. They both recused themselves.
I see.
on-
So sometimes you need,
Yeah, depending on the subject matter. In this particular case, this FOIL they both conflicted themselves out of it. So they recused themselves. They can't handle it because
Yes.
it could perhaps present a conflict.
okay,
So that's why we needed to bring special counsel in to handle just this one, at this
So
time.
this is
one-
just going to be for one
This one FOIL
occasion?
request,
Okay.
yes, yes,
Thanks.
yes. You're welcome. Is there anybody else that would like to come up on agenda items only at this time? Come on up. Oh, yeah, it looks like it's going to.
Hi, good evening, Jean Hopper, Mayapack.
Hi, Jean.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Flowers do look beautiful. They really do. Such a pretty time of year. Waste wood processing. I know we have a lot of wood from the storm, so I have a question. $250 per hour or $2,000 per day? Is that a or how does that work? And what's $2,000 per day as opposed to $250 per hour? They're only working for 2 hours. They
I
only get
guess
a
if they're only working for 2 or 3 hours, maybe perhaps. Greg, can you?
If it's not a full day.
Correct, you pay them by the hour.
What's a full day? 8 hours, 7 hours, 6? I'm just curious.
Eight, I guess 8
That was,
Hours,
8
$2.
hours, yeah.
that was part of the,
So we'd want them to be working a full day, obviously. It's less expensive for us if
Less
they're working a
expensive,
full
yeah.
day. Yeah,
Same.
okay.
it's identical.
It's the same.
This
Mike
259.
probably
8
put that
hours.
in there, because if he doesn't need them for a full day, he doesn't want to be billed for a full day.
Right, no, I understand. Okay, good. And I know, I'm sure we have some equipment to chip whatever we can. I mean, we're going to be very prudent about how we're using this company to
This
get
is-
rid of wood.
You make a good point. This is a tub grinder, it's called.
Right.
So the tub grinders accept large
Massive
trees.
st-
So we
yeah.
do have chippers for the smaller diameter wood, which we'll probably use for that. And I think we do, the chipper does go out with the tree crew, so they chip when they
Yeah.
can on site.
How does it work? You know, like, I live off Croton Falls Road. There's a lot of small branches. I mean, who does, I know because it's Croton Falls. Who watches Croton Falls?
That's the county.
A county. Okay, so that's a county.
Yeah.
So when the county comes by, they kind of chip it, and wouldn't they just kind of leave it in the woods? I mean, it is organic. It is something that will mulch out.
The brush they chip, most of it,
They shoot out.
it depends.
Right.
Like, Croton Falls Road is a very sensitive road to New York City.
Right.
So I don't know if they're able to do that. But depending on where they are,
It's not harmful to the water. It's wood. It's a
I think
natural,
they use
you
their
know.
own
I know.
Dealing
discretion
with New
on
York
what to
City.
do.
Well, there's a lot of trees hanging over
Yeah.
Croton River, so I know that they're not maintaining that
Yeah.
as well as they probably
This
should be.
machine was basically for the large trees that have accumulated since the storm.
That's something you want to mention too. I mean, there are a lot of trees on our waterways that, you know, little tributaries that we have. I'm always concerned that they're going to cause damming and that they'll waylay the flow of the water, you know, and that can be detrimental because we have those overpasses with the pipes, and if the water's going sideways and also the road's caving in where the water shouldn't be going. So maybe the next time you talk to DEP, they could be maintaining that a little bit better. If you want to give me their number, I can call them.
Okay. I'll call them, but I'll give you the number also.
Okay, no,
So
only
if you wa-
because,
yeah.
you know, it's their land, they want to protect it, it's their
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
so they have to step up their game a
You,
little bit.
If you give Ann a call at the office, or Bella, they can
I'll
give you
call.
contact
I'm not going to
information.
call in, I'll ask her before I leave.
Okay,
I'll save my dime.
yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate that, yeah.
The asbestos study is being done where?
The
Number
the
9, I'm
asbestos
sorry.
removal? The
Oh, it's
the
removal?
abatement?
It's
The
removal.
abatement?
Okay.
This is for the abatement, the removal of it, and
Number 9, right?
it's at the Swan Cove property.
Okay. And then number 11 we tabled. Okay, I'm also going to mention stuff from last week that was a fantastic meeting. I learned a lot, got a lot of information. It was great to have all the committee heads there. You know, we do talk about moving forward, and I just want to reiterate a nice pool and a nice hotel, either in our town or in Putnam. So when you talk to Ms. Odell, I know that pool and hotel have been on the agendas many, many years. I'm still not really understanding why those things haven't been taken care of, either by the county or by our town. I'm going to put the onus on our county. Something to visit next time you speak to our county executive. Thanks.
Okay, sure will. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Okay, is there anybody else for the agenda items that we covered tonight? Anyone? Mike? No? Okay, so we're going to move on to the open forum, new business portion of the meeting, where you could come up and make comments to the town board, ask questions, make a statement. You must be a town resident, business owner, or taxpayer of the town of Carmel to address the board during the open forum portion. Anybody this evening? Oh, okay. They do. Hi.
Hi, everybody. Good evening. Judy Mira, Carmel. You look lovely being framed by flowers.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
They-
Isn't it? That's nice.
That should be
Actually put me in a good
every,
mood.
Yeah, me
every
too.
meeting. I want to start with something a little lighthearted, because I was on Facebook last night, and the Carmel Parents School District and the Mahopic School District parents were all talking about this strange sound that they kept hearing. And it was from Lake Cassie through Mahopic, up Carmel, 301. It was everywhere. It was really funny because people were talking about, it sounds like there's a T-Rex walking in my backyard, to a swarm of bees, to construction, to West Point. Did anybody hear
Yeah,
of that? Or does
it's-
anybody know what it is?
It was from West Point.
It was from
Yeah,
West Point.
Yeah, I made some calls. I made some phone calls.
Was
and
it all day? 'Cause
All day.
people-
They were doing test firing over there, test shots at West Point, shooting cannons.
Well, I'm going to look
They were
great
shooting-
posting that tonight.
They were firing cannons and whatever other types of weapons they were using to create that. I guess they were using, yeah, I guess. But that's
Amazing
what it
how
wa-
that
I heard it-
reverberated throughout the county.
Yeah, I heard it from my house also. I was
Okay.
wondering what that was, so I made some phone
Okay,
calls.
great,
And-
great, because people were calling, I know, the police, and nobody really had an answer. They had some great ideas, there was some real fantasy things going on
I
there,
like the
but,
T-Rex, yeah.
thank you.
They were doing drills and test firing of weapons over there at West Point.
Okay, great, thank you.
All right.
The other thing I wanted to talk about connects to last week's meeting, which was great, but something I just found out really yesterday, the last 2 days. Somebody was talking about the Carmel High School graduates. We had invited someone to the our next Traffic Safety Board meeting, and they said that they couldn't because they had the Carmel graduation commencement exercises in Danbury, in Connecticut. And I went, what? So I'm a little, I mean, with all this talk about moving forward and building, it would seem that this community could certainly use something, and I would hope it's on the radar or in the planning somehow, of like a Westchester community, a Westchester County Center, where you could have graduations, where you could have shows, where you could have things like home and garden shows or home improvement shows, coin shows, reptile, all the things that they do at the county center. But that would seem, and from a taxpayer point of view, we're living in Carmel and these kids are going to another state, and this is funding another state.
Our kids actually graduated, when
my son,
our sons graduated, and we had to go there. We were pretty ticked off, because you graduate and you have to leave your state to go,
Right.
to go to commencement. And it's really not this because of the size, because some of the classes are not that large anymore. That's the school board and why they do that. But me personally, I think you should graduate where you go to school.
Absolutely.
But that's just my.
Absolutely.
my
I mean, I know,
thought.
I remember when I lived in Yorktown and all three of my girls graduated and it was outside on the lawn. But of course, that's weather dependent, and if it's a
Right.
bad day,
Then
it's a
you go inside.
catastrophe. So, they all moved them to inside places to ensure that they could have the
Yeah.
graduation without a
Who
hitch.
was that,
But
09, Sue?
That was-
09,
that
right?
was Connor and
2009?
Christopher.
Connor and Chris,
Yeah.
our two sons, Connor and Chris. And it's usually, Mahopac's graduation ceremonies are on the turf field between the high school and middle school with the bleachers. And that one year,
Yeah, 1 year.
2009, they moved it over to WestCon, over in Connecticut. And we weren't happy about it.
No.
And then I know the students weren't either, because they attended Mahopac High School, and it's tradition that they graduate from at the school where they attended.
sure.
So,
Do you foresee something like that, or at least a facility that could
Facility like
house
that?
this within our county?
Me personally, like
Maybe
the
a-
community centers that we were talking about, I don't think was gonna be that grand of
Right,
a
right,
building. I think it was
right.
more for like the seniors, the culture, the
Arts.
youth, the arts, to have plays and all things like that. And again, I don't think the reasoning was because it was a large group. I don't know why they moved it up there.
No, I'm not sure either.
Yeah, you'd have to ask the school why they're moving them out
I mean,
there.
I didn't even know that
You know?
the high school didn't have an auditorium.
Bruce, I was just
I
told,
think just to open it up, I mean, it used to be, you're allowed to bring up one parent or one
Right.
student
Yes.
or something like that. It's to open it up.
to allow for more
So
people to
can
come.
come.
It's the spectators, I
Yeah,
guess.
Bruce-
Right.
Bru-
It's
Right.
basically
Graduation.
It's basically
For
for
the
the
family.
extended family. Because I remember when my children graduated in Mahopac, you know, you could bring one grandparent or.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
and that was the problem. So I think that's why they went to a bigger venue, to accommodate the whole.
I understand the reason. I mean, we had that too. I remember my oldest grandson is going to be graduating soon. They do it at one of the stadiums. I forget the name of the stadium, up towards LaGrange. Anyway.
Brewster?
Brewster
Yeah.
does too. So you liked it, yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure the facilities are fabulous, you know, but it would just be nice to kind of have that within
Yeah, I
your
mean, we
own
can
home
certainly talk
county.
about that at the master plan, you know.
I
at
know
the
it's a
ad hoc
huge
committees,
expense, but what you're
it
talking
would-
about is huge.
Yeah, yeah.
And the only other thing I want to say is to please go on the Putnam County Traffic Safety Board Facebook page and website and like us. And, you know, we're posting, we're also updating any of the, from the engineer that we get about the updates for the repaving. So,
All right, good,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Okay, thank you, Judy, yeah. Okay, is there anyone else before we move on? Okay, there being none, Susie, can you make this announcement?
Sure. Of course. The Town of Carmel Recreation and Parks Department presents the Music Fest. It was postponed, and it's going to be held on Saturday, June 16th, from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Mahopac Chamber Park. If it does rain on the 16th, then it'll be Sunday, the 17th. It's a fun-filled day of free music and entertainment for all ages, including local bands, popcorn, and cotton candy. Some of the bands are in different matters: The Lookout, Absolute Zero, The Morning After, and RGK. I went to this last year, and it's really, it's a great event. So it's the Music Fest at the Chamber Park. So if it's a nice day, please go down and support the artists who are going to be there performing. Good?
Good. Yep.
You go.
Thank you, Sue.
You're welcome.
Okay, just one other follow-up to some questions that had come before this board over the past month or so, month and a half. The issue with the American Legion, we had such a good meeting this past week. We made significant progress with the property owner and the American Legion and other representatives from the town that were there. So we're making a lot of headway, and we're hopeful that you're going to see a shovel in the ground there sometime in July. Sometime, you know, maybe mid-July, beginning of mid-July. So it's real. So we've made a lot of progress. The terms were agreed to by both sides with respect to the temporary easement and the construction specifications and things like that were required in the easement. So we've made good progress. Correct, Greg?
Schedule, that's all.
Yeah. So it's just left. It's really left to be scheduled. Right, Greg?
Hopefully
Yeah.
that'll be on next week's agenda for you,
Okay. Yeah.
for the town board.
Yep. So
Said hopefully that'll be on next week's agenda for the town board, that the easement agreement
the
will be
town board has
finalized,
to agree to the easement, to
and the
temporary
town board
easement.
can consider approving it.
And then we act on it and consider approving it, which, all right, so things are moving along, and we're hopeful that's going to,
Then we'll all go
That's
up there
gonna
and
happen.
have a nice barbecue.
yeah. For the pig roast, yeah, it'll be finished by then, yeah. And we'll be able to use the bathrooms there, too, so, and not porta sands, yeah. We'll be the first ones, we'll have a ribbon cutting, I guess. All right, so that's all we have for tonight. We do have executive session. We have Police Chief Mike Kazari is going to be meeting with the board. He's got two candidates that he would like the board to consider hiring, so we're interviewing those candidates this evening, two of them, and they're both coming from other departments. So there'll be transfers to the Town of Carmel Police Department, which means they'll be able to provide service probably by the end of July. Yeah, as soon as we can get them on the road, they will by themselves. They'll be training with a field training officer from the time we hire them, which I think is going to be scheduled tentative for June 20th. And then they'll be a month and a half with an FTO. So by the end of July, they should be out on their own. So good news. All right, so I need a motion to go into executives. So moved by Councilwoman McDonough, seconded by Councilmember Borelli. All those in favor? All right, good night.